Yo guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be reacting to Galaxy S9 Teardown by Jerry Rig Everything. I'm going to be, he's doing what is inside a Galaxy S9, and the only reason I'm watching this is because I actually have a Galaxy S9 and I'm doing it right now. Or should I do what's inside a Samsung Galaxy S8, then S9, then S9 Plus? Right now I'll do Galaxy S9 because they all have the exact same things, I think, except it's just the screen is bigger. So that is what I'm looking at, the first one, the one that the bright light is on.
It's time to tear down the Galaxy S9 and take a look inside of that crazy variable aperture camera unit. My phone has been through a lot lately, and it's not quite over yet. Let's get started. You've already seen me open up glass-backed phones a million times, so you know the drill. It is your best friend, glass is glass, and luckily replacement panels are pretty cheap if you ever need to break them. Or if you manage to scuff up the paint on the inner side of glass, a deep-red skin is equally
What?
expensive.
So that's inside the phone I'm recording right now.
Let's get to the good stuff. There are 15 screws holding down those black plastics and the wireless charging coil. I'll pop off that coil, the center plastic, and the bottom loudspeaker, and then I'll unplug the batteries. There's some very strong adhesive. You can see how I've been my price trying to get this thing out. I'll soften up the adhesive a bit with my Eco and give it a little jump. Trying out that 3,000 milliamp hour battery is the same size as the previous Galaxy S8.
I told you it was the same. I told you.
Apple says plan for a 20% drop in capacity.
Oh, that's the battery?
They don't manually throttle the first anymore. You know what it's done for. The screen ribbon unclips like a little Lego, and then I'll make my way up to the front-facing camera. It's an 8 megapixel HDR capable unit, and pretty much the exact same thing we saw last year as well. We'll get to the new stuff here in a second, but first I'll unclip the volume buttons and these little signal wires down the bottom, along with the white and blue wire cables. And then of course the SIM card tray comes out with this 400 gigabyte capacity SD card slot. It also has the water-resistant rubber ring around the opening. The whole motherboard can fold up and out of the phone at this point, allowing us to access the final Lego-style connector attached to the bottom of the motherboard for the charging port. I'll set the motherboard off to the side so we can tear open that camera unit in a second. The interior of this phone is solid metal. Samsung must anodize the entire frame at the same time because it's all painted the same color, inside and out. But you can see the metal shining through the scratch marks underneath. It's a very, very solidly built phone. There is a long copper heat pipe to help keep the processor cool, and then another copper sticker over some of the front-facing sensors. And lastly, a water damage indicator right up here by the SIM card tray. This is how Samsung knows if your phone has gotten wet or not. Remember, the Galaxy S9 is IP68 water resistant, definitely not the same thing as waterproof. I would just plan on keeping your phone dry. It's got a little circular coin vibration motor inside of these little gold contact pads.
Wait, the Galaxy S9 is water resistant?
Since there are several types used in cell phones these days.
I did not know that.
Our little buddy Jack is tied in with one
but I
screw
didn't know
and a
it
Lego
was
style
not
connector here at the bottom of the
water
phone. I'll release
resistant.
those and pop him out. Then there are 4 more screws holding down the charging port into the phone frame. There's a little bit of adhesive under there, but the whole thing pulls up and away pretty smoothly. It's got a little rubber ring around the USB-C port to help keep water out, and the microphone holes down here on this board as well. Now, if I was going to do a screen or flip...
If you guys don't know what adhesive is, you guys need to watch his channel. Also, his channel is like the best. Subscribe to his channel. Like, seriously.
I would use a ton of heat and basically break the screen off of the phone frame. There are massive machines that can do this safely and salvage the display if it's not already damaged. But without those machines, just plan on the screen breaking completely during the removal process and then installing your new one. Let's jump into one of the major improvements on this Galaxy S9, the camera. I don't tear down cameras very often, but I'll make an exception for this one. After popping it out from its slot in the motherboard, we can see a couple things.
Whoa.
First, we still have that optical image stabilization, that OIS that helps keep...
I knew it! Every time I see this camera, oh, come on. Every time I see this camera move, like it literally is moving. I know it's moving. I see it every time. Anyways, I just need to go get something so this phone stays and doesn't fall all the time. I found a huge, really heavy battery, so hopefully that will work. And let's keep watching the video.
Video footage looking super smooth, but that's pretty common now. I'm interested in this variable aperture. You know, the little gizmo that physically changes how much light can hit the sensor at a given point. Popping off the metal protective housing, we can see that this aperture variation happens on the exterior of the lens, since I can touch it here with my tweezers. And the control mechanism for that aperture happens over here on the left-hand side of the lens, where I can manually open and close the little circle by sliding my tweezers
Whoa,
up
I
and
did
down
not know
the
that.
internal switch.
Now
Of
that
course,
is
all of this
cool.
happens electronically, automatically, inside the camera. It would automatically switch from 1.5 to 2.4 depending on the lighting situation on hand. But it's cool to see the hardware side of things during a teardown. Thumbs up to Samsung for doing something new. This is the same hardware you would find in a professional DSLR camera. Apple's usually about 2 years behind, so you'll see this in an iPhone around 2020. We aren't done with the teardown though. I'll pop out the lenses from the housing to reveal the
Whoa,
camera
that's
sensor
like
underneath.
rainbow.
This multicolored 12
Right there is
rectangle
almost
is what receives
rainbow.
the light through the lens and turns it into an image for your phone. One last look at the switch on the side of the lenses for the aperture movement. That switch, including the optical stabilization, are most likely accomplished through magnets. Since you can see each side of the lens has a little magnet attached that attracts the screw, and each magnet lines up with the copper coils inside of the housing. Pretty cool. They help keep things balanced and stabilized. I'll start reassembling the phone. The camera won't ever be the same, since there are some tiny little stabilizing rubber balls inside that escaped when I took it apart. Luckily, replacement cameras are pretty inexpensive, so I'll just buy another when replacements become available. The charging port is in place and screwed down, and if we look up here on the left, we see Bixby's little home. It's got the one button and a little ribbon with some gold contact pads. It looks pretty easy to remove if someone wants to be adventurous. They can just pop the button out, or leave the button in place and just rip off the contact pad so he never works again. I'm not suggesting murder, I'm just saying it's possible. The motherboard gets clipped in at the bottom first with the charging port, and then set down into the aluminum frame of the Galaxy S9. If you noticed, I'm leaving the camera unattached right now, but the phone should still work without it. Front-facing camera is plugged in, and then the screen ribbon is clipped into the motherboard like a little Lego, along with the 3 little signal wires at the bottom. Now, one more subtle difference between the S9 and the S8 that you probably won't hear anywhere else is about the camera flash. It's still a single-colored LED flash, but the S9 has a diffuser in it, while the S8 does not. Light diffusers are usually preferred among photographers, since it's a little less harsh on the image, and the Galaxy S9 now has one in place. Not a reason to go out and buy a whole new phone, of course, but it is still something new. And I guess if I have to be nice, Apple has been diffusing their flashes on their iPhones for quite a while now. Anyway, the battery's back in place and plugged in, along with the headphone jack and this little screw. And this is the part where you would normally get the plastics back on and the 15 screws screwed back into place. But since my phone has been torn down and clarified a bit, this portion of the video is going to be a little different. I'll get some double-sided tape to hold that glass back panel in place, and after clipping in the fingerprint scanner, I can see if the whole phone works or not. It turns on even without the camera unit in place, and the whole thing appears to be working. It finds Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and the front camera works. But as soon as I flip it to the rear camera, the camera app dies with a camera failed warning. Probably because it just doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, if you're bored of a normal looking phone, make sure you check out the Dbrand link in the description. Show them some love for supporting my channel, and build your own phone by clicking that link. I think this camel skin is pretty sweet. Thanks for joining me on the teardown of the Galaxy S9, and if I've earned it, hit that subscribe button. Thanks so for watching, and
Okay, wow. Now let's watch what's inside Galaxy S8, and then we will do Galaxy S9 Plus.
This is an invisible liner from Smile Direct Book. It takes teeth like these and transforms them into those. Join more than 250,000 satisfied runners.
Okay.
Welcome back to What's Inside. I'm Lee from This Again, and today we have an awesome thing.
Today we have the Samsung Galaxy S8. So this phone actually isn't even out yet. It comes out on April 21st in the US. And then April 28th
Wrong.
everywhere else in
Very
the world.
wrong. It is out. The Galaxy S9 Plus is now out.
Tech Racks. You can see in his channel, we like break stuff.
Dude, this thing's so hot.
Puts drones in a swimming pool full of Coca-Cola. TechRax did a drop test on this phone. The screen's cracked right there and right there, but it still works just fine. Like you can see, if we zoom, if we go through it, totally works. There's all the apps. It's just a little cracked. So TechRax, big thanks for sending us this phone. We are going to now see what's inside of it. And wow, if you turn it, the stars go with it. Can you do that?
Wait, I wish I.
Oh, we almost got another drop test.
Watch and I turn it off. Did you see that?
Yeah, like closes like a book. The screen is pretty cool. It has an infinity edge or bezel-less, is that what it's called? So the screen kind of curves around like those infinity edge pools. This is my daily driver, this iPhone 7 Plus. This is what I've been using for
I don't know if you guys
months.
know this, but
Like,
the
if
whole
you look at
reason I
if
love
you
this
look at
phone
the width
so
of
much
these phones,
is because it has a
this
curved
is the
edge.
skinniest.
It is
Mine
just
is
so
pretty big,
cool. I
but
love
still,
the
I have to
Galaxy
use this top
S9.
socket all the time. But it'd be nice to just pick up
By
my
the
phone
way,
and
I have the
hold it.
Galaxy
It just feels
S9
like it's right.
Space Gray.
So what do we do when we get early access to a phone?
Destroyed it.
We destroy it. So we're gonna get to business. We're gonna get into this thing, but we need to get some tools, and
We are prepared.
some of these are actual tools.
Like actual.
The things that people would use to actually get into things properly.
Yeah.
A couple of giant suction cups, and maybe we put one on each side, and then we just pull and see if we can pull it apart. We're gonna put one on the back and one on the front. Because of the bezel-less lens on here in the display, I really think that the back is likely to come off. I think I'm gonna put this on right here. It locks into place. Has this ever been tried on YouTube
I
before?
don't think so.
Me and Lincoln. I'm just gonna sit here steady and you just pull. Go ahead.
Ah! I knew that was gonna happen.
Alright, we're gonna give this one more try. One more try
Okay.
and see if this will work, and then we're gonna have to take drastic measures. We're calling in some help. Here's our professional help. Zach,
The professional.
welcome to his channel.
He is in every video, I'm telling you, literally every video.
What I think is missing is heat. Heat on that back panel will soften the adhesive and hopefully let it separate.
Blow drying time. Is this what you mean? Is this heat enough?
Mine looks a little bit different than that.
Where do I do this? It's right there. First, gonna try it real quick and see. It felt like it was doing something.
Oh, we almost had it there.
I did too. I kind of went off a little bit. Alright, last try with the suction. No good! Alright, enough of the blow dryer. We have all these tools. We have a professional here. Can you show us how to get into this proper way? Which, you've never got into this phone before, right?
Yeah, this is a brand new S8. This is the first S8 that I've actually held before.
We're going to put a link to Zach's channel in the description. You can subscribe to his channel because in a couple of days, he's going to do a full test on this, durability test with fire, with his strong hands.
Really strong hand.
Let's work your magic. Let's see what we can do here.
So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to lift up a little bit on this bottom edge and hopefully give me enough room that I can slide my pry tool inside. See that?
Oh, yeah.
Now the pry tool's in there and I'm cutting away that adhesive. The back panel is glass though, so we have to be really careful not to break it.
What?
That was way better than what we were doing.
And it's still in one piece. Hopefully the phone is still working.
I feel like I want to just take stock to it now.
That's a camera. Why does it move?
It's actually called the OIS, the Optical Image Stabilization.
If you're filming somebody, it's not going to be as shaky as what the older phones used to be.
This is the battery. No catching fire by the phone. 113 degrees and no dogs. That's important.
Wait. Is it really?
It really says that.
No dogs and no tools. Dude, we use tools. You
Wait,
didn't tell me this was
where's the
dangerous.
dog? Where is the dog?
Why does it say no dogs on it? You can't puncture it, burn it, and also you can't have a dog. So right now,
That's
most of the
cool.
phone is black, and the interesting stuff is underneath this black part. So we're going to take off all of these screws.
Alright, we got the screws all sitting there pretty. Here's the back. It's all up, so now what?
This phone has a cool feature where it can charge wireless. I've never seen the inside of one of these pads.
What's gonna be our prize?
It looks like there's a bunch of copper wires inside.
So when you set the phone on top of a wireless charger, the wireless charger also has these same copper wires inside of it.
Oh, so it connects through it. Kind of like a levitating light.
Exactly, that's exactly the way it is.
Okay, so that camera is cool. The battery, wireless charging is cool. We still have a phone that's working. Like, is this thing still going to work even though we destroyed all this wireless charging stuff?
Yeah, so obviously the only part that's not going to work on this phone is the wireless charging.
So if we just put the backpack on it, it'll work.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's good, because I was thinking that that's not really our thing here. Oh, what's this guy? That's some tough glass. Oh, did you see all that green weighing out? We're pretty far down into it. The battery doesn't look like it's been touched yet, and any lithium-ion battery is, yep, that's, whoa. Okay. Ah! Look at it!
The battery's expanding. That's crazy. You must have nicked it.
Shut the door, shut the door.
You must have nicked the battery on that
I must have
backside.
nicked it, yep. How well does it protect itself from that? Oh, there's some battery juices right there. That's crazy. Look at that. So Zach, you've seen some batteries explode before, or light up. Is that pretty good? Does it look like it has like some fail safes in place?
Yeah,
Or is that just any typical battery?
There's not like any sparks or flame going on right now, which like if you nicked it, normally there would be sparks and flame. So this is a very good thing. It looks like Samsung has, it's still really hot. It looks like Samsung has stopped the flame issue.
I thought for sure it was going to explode in their house. Zach is going to take a razor blade and poke the battery and see what happens, because it should catch on fire.
It does smell like that burnt Skittles right now. Do you smell that?
Mm-hmm. I just sort of nail polish to me.
Nail polish, that's a good one too. Yeah, dude, there's no sparks or anything in here.
And we're stabbing it with a razor blade.
Yeah, this metal impurity should start the flames, but
I don't even know how this is possible, but
Yes. Samsung. From
this
our
is
non-scientific,
amazing.
it's just
Like,
Samsung
Samsung is
has
the
one.
best.
It
Although
did not
Apple
catch
is
on fire.
also
It smoked a
amazing.
little bit,
Like, Apple,
it
Samsung,
expanded, it got
I give you
big,
props.
but then
I
something
give you
happened
props. This thing
where
is
it just
amazing.
stopped. So, while it was sad to cut into that thing, it was good for science. We all learned something.
Okay, so I think now we should probably go back and look at the 9 Plus, the latest version.
This is the Tech Genie, and today we'll be doing a teardown of the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus.
11
You're pretty much gonna
minutes.
heat gun, couple cards, razor blade, and you're gonna definitely need a SIM tray remover. First thing we're gonna do is remove the SIM tray right now, so we don't forget to later on. There's a hole on the top. You just push it out, remove it, put it aside pretty much. You can lay the phone on the back.
That's the Plus?
Take your heat
I did not
gun,
know that.
very important
That's the
part. Make sure you
Plus.
don't keep your temperature too hot. Keep it around 270 or so. And make sure you use a temperature control heat gun. You don't want to overheat this thing and end up damaging the battery components and stuff inside the phone. So we're going to go ahead and heat the whole entire back glass. And pretty much what I'm
Okay,
looking
I will be
for
back
is
when he is actually into the phone. While this guy is getting into the phone, I want to say, did you guys learn anything about these phones? Like, I had no clue the S9 Plus was waterproof, and like the S8 was waterproof. I had no clue. I also didn't know the camera closes like a book, and I also didn't know that the camera, like, when we were watching the first video, how he flicks down, and I really had no clue. So the guy is getting into the phone right now, or at least trying to.
It'll be a little bit rough sometimes and make it look easy than it really is. You want to cut through all the way around the adhesive. Let the part didn't work pretty much. Alright, once you do that, then heat the other side so you can also make it as easy as you did that side. Or keep reapplying heat. You just go and touch this to make sure it's hot enough. Okay, and then we're going to take the card. We're going to take a second card. The reason why we're using two cards this side, we can keep that side up. Doesn't stick back to itself down. And just go around there, and then we're pretty much through. One thing to be careful is just don't take the back off. Actually be very careful so that there's a cable there, and I'm pointing right at it. Take a plastic tool so you don't short anything out or anything like that. Just go right at that connector and then use it, just lever it up pretty much. And you can go ahead and remove and separate the two halves. And then there you go pretty much for this part.
Okay, wow, that is a very different setup than I thought.
Okay, now you're going to have to use a P800 precision screwdriver. And you remove these screws to remove the back mid-frame pretty much. Let's go ahead and remove all the screws that I'm pointing at. And put them in there for storage to keep them in a container. And once you get done removing the screws, you take your plastic tool and start putting it in the wireless charger. Don't pull on it, otherwise you'll rip it. Try to get around the plastic and just gently lift it out. And here you go, so 10 assembly with the wireless charging pad. I'll give you a closer up view right here. On the side.
So that's
Now
what it
we're going
looks
for
like.
speaker assembly. You just go and lift that up.
And we've already seen this. Other than the camera, everything is the exact same. So I'm going to pause this, and I had no clue of half of these things, yet knowing they were waterproof for the camera, or the camera closed or it closed like a book. I didn't know any of these things. So comment down below what you learned, even if you learned anything. And if you didn't, then like and subscribe. And if you did, then like and subscribe and turn the bell on. And yeah, I think till then, please.